Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here, and in today's video we are going over all the news in the cryptocurrency space. We are talking about Binance and CZ getting sued. We're also going to be getting into the price of Bitcoin, why Bitcoin dropped here somewhat significantly in the last 4 to 5 hours. And then we're also going to be getting into Celsius. And so there's actually a lot of big news coming out when it comes to Celsius. So I'm going to be giving you all the details and telling you exactly what you need to do if you want to start getting your funds back with Celsius. So we're actually going to start there. Let's go ahead and start with Celsius. So some of you received an email about the custody accounts. So basically there is the earn accounts on Celsius and there are the custody accounts. The earn accounts were earning interest and the custody accounts were not. So we know that custody accounts were introduced, I don't know, what was it, in the past few months prior to Celsius shutting down. And so that was something that we saw first introduced over at BlockFi, and then we saw these other platforms that were doing the same thing. So you're receiving this email because records show that you hold custody assets and are a custody account holder in the Celsius Network LLC restructuring matter. Custody account holders may voluntarily opt in to the settlement in full and final satisfaction of such custody account holders' allowed custody claims. So this is what's happening. If you have funds in the custody account, you have the opportunity to opt in to this settlement. When you opt into the settlement, what you're opting into is getting 72.5% of your funds back. You would get half of that sometime in May, and then you would get the second half sometime by the end of the year. If you want to opt into this settlement, then you have to do so by 5 p.m. Eastern time on April 24th of this year. So you have approximately 1 month to do that. I myself will probably opt in to this option. I think 72.5% is more than I was expecting to get back. I was going to be surprised if we actually got 50% back. So I myself am okay with 72.5%. There has been a lot of schemes, a lot of bad businesses in the cryptocurrency space, and it's actually not that common that people end up getting much back. And with this time frame, I'm also actually quite surprised that we will be getting these funds back in this time frame, taking into consideration when Celsius filed for bankruptcy. We're looking at about 1 year later, and to be honest with you, I was anticipating somewhere between 5 and 10 years, especially once we found out how intertwined all these cryptocurrency companies are. So, like I said, if you received this email, then a copy of the settlement agreement and the order approving the settlement agreement may be found here. Please carefully review the settlement agreement before considering whether to opt in to participate. Once you opt in, you are bound by the terms of the settlement agreement on the conditions set forth in such document. I do anticipate to opt in, but I'm going to wait. There's not a rush. I have approximately 1 month to fill out the form to opt in. I am waiting just to find out if there's any other news that comes out. There's no reason to rush, and I think it's important that I get all the information necessary to fully execute on opting in. So if you receive that email, the next line, which I'm not going to include here, is it's going to give you a PIN number, and you're going to use that PIN number to opt in to the form. So like I mentioned, April 24th of this year is the date to opt in. If you fail to properly complete and submit the opt-in form prior to the settlement opt-in deadline, you'll not be able to participate in the settlement at this time, but may be able to later opt into the settlement to a Chapter 11 plan of the debtors, and you will receive notice separately at that time. So if you do not opt in, what is your other option? Your other option would be to basically hire someone to try to help you get back more funds. If you are someone that has, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, it might not be worth it when you think of the fees associated with trying to fight Celsius on this. So for example, if you're someone that has like millions and millions, it could potentially be worth it. But for my personal situation, I think I have maybe $30,000 or $40,000 in the custody accounts. It's not worth it for me to try to get back more. Let's see, the settlement provides for certain release of claims by the debtors. and certain releases of claims by the custody account holders. These releases are described in greater detail in the opt-in form. By agreeing to the settlement, you are electing not to pursue any claims or cause of action prohibited by the release. And then once again, they give you the link for the opt-in form. And there's more information on that form, and you could get more details on exactly what is taking place. So that is pretty much it when it comes to custody. One more thing to take into consideration is that if you have funds in a custody account and you also have a loan out, your loan to value ratio needs to be at 80 or better. They might basically take funds to rebalance your LTV to 80 and then give you the difference. That is a possibility there. So we do not know yet we don't have much clarity when it comes to the earn accounts. We're still waiting for information to come out when it comes to getting funds back on the earn accounts. So just stay tuned and hopefully we get more information shortly. So over to the crypto news, MicroStrategy repaid its $205 million Silvergate loan at a 22% discount as of the 23rd of March of this year. MicroStrategy acquired an additional 6,455 Bitcoin for $150 million at an average price of $23,238. Now MicroStrategy holds 138,955 BTC. That is 4.14 billion and an average price of 29,817. So breaking, Saudi National Bank chairman who was behind the 1.5 billion investment into Credit Suisse has mysteriously resigned. This is a good point. What crypto company isn't being sued at this point? So CZ and Binance, they are being sued by the CFTC, which is Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So at this point, like I've been saying, it's all these different government agencies that are randomly coming out, picking different exchanges to sue. And today, it's Binance and CC from the CFTC. And that is actually what dropped the price of Bitcoin to under $27,000. The price actually responded quite negatively based on the news. As you can see here, cryptos tumble after CFTC sues Binance and CEO. Let's go ahead and take a look here. This is actually a really interesting tweet. So if you actually make your mortgage payment bi-monthly, you could take 6 years of payment off of your total payments to your mortgage, which is really, really cool. So breaking, Binance accused of aiding users to evade KYC security protocols. What can we anticipate this week? Consumer confidence data comes out tomorrow on Tuesday. Home sales data comes out on Wednesday. Q4 2022 GDP data comes out on Thursday. Treasury Secretary Yellen speaks on Thursday. PCE inflation data on Friday. 4 Fed speakers this week. So that is important information there. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the price of Bitcoin. But before we do that, I want to quickly mention iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital is a way for you to buy Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, even precious metals now, and not pay any taxes on the gain. You'll be able to withdraw when you're 59 and a half. So if you want to get started with iTrust Capital today, you can trade within these retirement accounts. It is a non-taxable event, and you can get $100 in free Bitcoin when you sign up with my link down below. So make sure that you check that out. So Bitcoin currently sitting at $26,966. This is a weekly chart. It is still postured in an upwards trend. Let's take a look here at the daily. When I looked at this chart yesterday, I saw Bitcoin looking like it was being quite indecisive. It was a little bit of sideways trading, not a clear pullback, more just sideways trading. We obviously have a weaker candle that is printed today. So I don't like this 12-hour chart. 12-hour chart looking a bit weak. We could easily pull back to the range of this moving average over here to maybe about $24,500. Let's take a look here at the 4-hour. 4-hour not looking good. I do not like that 4-hour chart. 1 hour obviously looking quite weak as well. So across the board, between the 12-hour chart and below, Bitcoin looking rather weak. This is the 30-minute chart looking weak as well. 15-minute, not so good. Let's take a look here at the 5-minute. No, 5-minute chart, not looking good on Bitcoin. So we're seeing a ton of weakness across the board. I would not be interested in entering at this time. I'd be waiting for clear confirmation to get back into Bitcoin. Across the board, the crypto space is very red. I mean, almost everything is down, everything is in the red. And many people speculate this is based off of the news, obviously, from another exchange being sued, the government coming after another exchange. So Ethereum is sitting at 1709. We have gold sitting at 1953. Coinbase stock down over 10% today to $60.70. Litecoin sitting at 88.36. We have DOT at 583. Link is at 684. And like I mentioned earlier, across the board, pretty much everything is in the red today. Let's go and take a look at traditional stocks. We have SPY sitting at 396. This is a 5-minute chart here on SPY, and today is the 27th. Let's go and see here. So we could see here that SPY actually gapped up, and it made a high this morning at 9:45 at 398.87, and then it started with a pullback and then has been trading sideways. So SPY opened up strong, but then let's see, this was 10 o'clock. So basically like a 10 a.m. reversal that actually played out quite nicely. We have Costco today sitting at 494.59. Let's take a look here at, let's zoom out. We want to track SPY because obviously we know typically still a lot of correlation. This is the daily here on SPY. We want to see it make a higher high above the high of this candle right here, which is 407.45. So it has quite a ways to go there. We see it being pushed down here by this DMA. Let's take a look here at the 12-hour. 12-hour looking very similar to the daily chart. 4-hour here, we'd like to see the 4-hour make a high above this candle, which is 402.49. And then we see the 4-hour in a more of a bullish structure. This right here is the daily on S&P. Seeing a little bit of a pullback, but the hourly, I mean, I would not be interested in jumping in at this time. I would like to see a lot more clarity before jumping in on any of, on SPY in general. So 5-minute is the only one that's looking a little bit better if you're looking for something short term. Today, Tesla at 191.73. Electric vehicle related stocks are doing somewhat well today besides Plug, NEO, LI, and ENPH. Let's take a look here at marijuana stocks. When it comes to marijuana stocks, we have a majority of them are down, majority of them are red today. We have Tilray sitting at 258. Let's zoom out to the daily chart on Tilray. Daily chart on Tilray is consolidating a bit here. Not a ton of strength. I would anticipate another leg down on Tilray. I do think it will break the low of this candle right here, which is 228. What else do we have here? So that's pretty much it when it comes to what I see things doing. We have Bitcoin back above 27,000 at $27,042. I am staying patient. I am waiting. I think we could actually, once I see Bitcoin make a, once I see some bullish momentum, once I see a momentum shift, I might be interested in getting in on a short-term position, riding Bitcoin up to between $30,000 and $34,000. But I'm not quite ready for that, just staying patient at this time. So that is all that I have for you today. And like I mentioned earlier, if you want to get started with iTrust Capital, pick up that $100 in free Bitcoin and start investing today so you do not have to pay taxes on the gains when you retire. You can contribute to a IRA, a Roth IRA, or even transfer your existing retirement account. That's all that I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.